if you watch, there's a movie, documentary, Jiro Dreams of Sushi. Like, that's Louie.
No, it's Louie, 100%.
And I don't think people realize that, like, Lou's, like, yeah, he's a master. He hit a level of mastery that you don't see very often in anything. You're brilliant in this one thing, and nobody's going to understand you outside of that. So he hit that level where he was a doctorate professor of a very high degree. He didn't have time for the kindergarten stuff.
The way that I felt was, you know, after being there for 14 years or whatever it was, I can't grab a squat bar anymore, you know, and so I can't, it's a blessing and a curse, you know, so blessing because fuck, if I could, I'd probably still be, you know, I would be the guy that you were talking about. And that's what I never wanted to be, was the guys that you're talking about, is that person that's just, I was already 2 years removed, you know, not making any, I was on a downslide and I was just waiting for that next, you know, roll. It's like a roller coaster. It's like boom, 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 then boom, it comes. And it's like, God damn, why ain't it coming? It's not coming. It's like, why ain't it coming? And it kept getting worse, but I didn't want to be that guy that's there for other people to say, fuck, I don't want to end up like that. Yeah. You know, and so I just get out. Yeah.
I mean, it was tough seeing that with those guys too, because to me, they were legends, you know, and they're coming in and they can barely like do a movement, and Lou's getting pissed, you know, because Lou's still lifting. And that's something that, like, I've been going through old footage that I took. You know, I don't know why Lou let me film in that gym. He hates fucking cameras, but for some reason he let me film. You know, and we had the old Z flip, not a like it was a like hand like
shit.
Shit.
What the hell were those called?
Worst quality
flip video or some shit.
Worst quality ever. But like I'm going through this training footage and like I just thought, no, Lou's training. I forgot how much Lou fucking trained with us. And I don't think people realize that, like, Lou's, like, yeah, he's a master. He hit a level of mastery that you don't see very often in anything. And if you watch, there's a movie, documentary, Jiro Dreams of Sushi. Like, that's Louie.
No, it's Louie, 100%.
And it's like he knew one thing. And actually, when he was on Joe Rogan podcast, I was very thankful that Rogan figured it out and didn't try to, you know, just talk to him forever, because he figured out you're brilliant in this one thing and nobody's going to understand you outside of that. So like, cool. Yeah. Like, and you know, he was there the whole day, you know, with Lou. Yeah. But it's like one of those examples that, like, outside of powerlifting, and that Louie's downfall was he always wrote everything for powerlifting, but his knowledge was so deep, and the amount of people that would come in and from different sports and the differences that he would make so fast with people. Like, you know, for him, it was boring. You know, he didn't want to work with combine players because it was the easiest thing in the world. So he wanted someone else to do it. Like, it was just, it got to that point. And I remember, like, the reason we had a good relationship was because, like, I had a deep understanding of all of his past, like, writings. Then I had picked his brain on everything. You know, I was most people get annoyed, you know, like me and Wendler, like, I'd ask Wendler questions and he's like, God damn, shut the fuck up, you know?
No, Louie just goes to go.
Louie would love to share, and I would love to ask questions and debate him. And, you know, we'd clash heads, like, but he liked that because he could see that I was passionate. Yeah. And through that, when we started teaching the CrossFit seminars, he would say stuff, you know, and these are coaches. And they would look like so confused. And then I'd be like, what he's trying to say is this. And then, so they started calling me his translator. Yeah. You know, and I said to Lou one time, like, Lou, why don't you dumb it down a little bit? He goes, these guys should know physics. They should have biology 101, biomechanics 101. Like, he was like, I'm not there to teach them kindergarten shit.
No, they should be smarter.
And I realized that's why Lou, the hardest thing for Lou was he hit that level where he was a doctorate professor of a very high degree. He didn't have time for the kindergarten stuff. Like, and, you know, I always tell people, like, who want to question the program and where it is, I'm like, you can go backwards and you'll end up at the same place as Lou, or you can just say, this is the latest science, you know, because Lou was so far ahead of, and I remember, was it Brian Mann? He did that test in college. They did the study on the wide stance squat and the band stuff and released the study. Well, you guys have been doing it for 10 years, you know, and that was what most people, you know, oh, the science doesn't back this. No, Lou's ahead of the science. And that's what they didn't understand. They didn't understand that Lou was so far ahead. He just got to that point where he found it very difficult to talk to someone who called himself a coach who didn't understand basic physics.
We did. I have so many similar stories to that because I can remember two distinct ones. One was I don't know which university it was, but it was in a lecture hall, and his whole presentation, as we're driving there, he's putting it together in his head. It's like, I'm going to tell them about what we're doing with the weight releasers, the chains, and the bands, because we were doing this Circumax thing with that. And I'm thinking, oh God, this is going to be epic. And I just let him go. So he's just going and going and going and going and going. Nobody in there has a fucking idea. They don't even know what a box squat is, right? So he's talking about doing box squats, which they don't know what that is, with weight releasers, chains, bands, over speed eccentrics for, 5 singles or whatever we were doing. And just completely just lost, I'm dying. And then on the way back, I'm like, Louie, next time we should probably just teach him what a box squat is. Fuck them people. If they're so stupid that, basically they need to get smarter. If they're going to, and I'm like, that's why they're in school. That's why they're coming, is to be, there was another one where I think it was Ball State, and was in the weight room, and he's lecturing about whatever we're doing at the time. And I was a demo guy, probably like you were the demo guy, like bench squat, do that. And he's going and going and going. And 2.5 hours later, half the room is asleep, laying on the floor asleep. And he's just going and going and going. And I asked him, I'm like signaling, like, just give me 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. At the 5 minutes at the end, I grabbed the chalk and I write on the board basically what ended up being the periodization Bible part 2, or the basic template. Like, here's what it is. This is what we do. And then, on the way back, I'm like, maybe, we should, he's like, you should just do this. I'm done with these people. I can't handle it. I'm done with them. You do it. Like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And it's funny because he with the sport stuff is, I saw the same thing that you did. These coaches would come in. Some of the things that he would say, I would question. I think that's kind of weird. But who knows? I learned over a period of time, this looks stupid. It looks really weird. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but probably 10 years from now I will. Yeah. So I just shut up on that one. But 80% of the other stuff, I was like, this is gold. It's absolute gold. And I would try to, man, you need to write more about this, and I think, Matt tried to get him to do that. You tried to get him to do that. And Tommy did, so all credit to him because that knowledge is so vast there that he got typecast, I guess. I don't know how else to say it.